I'm so excited to be here today on my channel to talk about something I've been so excited to talk about, and that is, drumroll please, Magnolia Parks. I have been waiting to talk about Magnolia Parks with you guys, and we're going to talk about it today. I have both the American cover and the British cover of the same book. They're the same book, just different covers, because I'm such a nerd. I had to have both covers of the same book, and we're going to talk about it. This will be a spoiler video, so if you haven't read Magnolia Parks and you don't want spoilers, now is the time, right now is the time to go watch another one of my videos. Do it, go watch something else. Now that all those people are gone, we can talk about Magnolia Parks. Magnolia Parks has become my all-time favorite book. And in this video, we're not going to talk about the individual books because there's a bunch of books in the series. There's Daisy Hates books and there's Magnolia Parks books, and they all take place in the same universe. We're just going to kind of talk about an overview of what Magnolia Parks is and why I love it so much and why I've connected with it and what makes it special and what makes it unique and what makes my heart just fall in love with Magnolia and the characters in this series and why I think you should read it. So Magnolia Parks follows this group of friends mostly around the characters. The Magnolia Parks series is Magnolia and BJ have 3 books, and then Daisy and Christian have 2 books, and that makes up the whole series, and that's 5 books. And in this particular video, I'm going to focus on the Magnolia and BJ videos, and then I'll do another video talking about Daisy and Christian's books, and that's the Daisy Hates books. So Magnolia and BJ are the main characters in the 3 books that focus on Magnolia Parks. I would call them the Magnolia Parks books. That would be Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, and Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. And Magnolia and BJ are the main characters in that group. But again, the friend group is in all of the books, including the Daisy Hates books. But Magnolia and BJ might be my favorite characters. Magnolia might be one of my favorite characters written of all time. Jessa Hastings. This woman could write my grocery list and I would be so excited to read it like every single day. Her writing is unique and fun, and this series reminds me a lot of Gossip Girl. It takes place in high society London, and it's fun and it's unique and it's exciting. And it has a lot of that angst and a lot of that toxicity and a lot of that like Gossip Girl drama that if you are a 30-something who watched Gossip Girl when you were in your teens and young 20s, you were hooked on. Yeah, that's Magnolia Parks. That is exactly what these books offer and give. Like, the back of this book says, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? She's a beautiful, self-involved, mildly narcotic London socialite. He's British most photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne are meant to be, aren't they? It's Chuck and Blair. And here's the thing. If you were around me when I was especially a senior in high school, you know that Blair was my girl. Like, I loved Blair. Like, give me Blair, and I was in. I even went to a funeral for someone, and I 100% dressed like Blair. I wasn't that close to that person, so please forgive me, like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. I do not know what this lighting is doing. I apologize. This lighting is awful. But, like, I dressed like Blair because I was not close to that person and I had this like desire to be Blair. And so like I was Blair. I wanted to be Blair. I wanted to be as sassy as her. I wanted to be as feisty as her. And that is Magnolia. Magnolia loves fashion. Magnolia loves to be the boss bitch in all situations. And I love it. I eat it up like freaking Halloween candy. She's the best. But here's the thing, both that I think is most resonating with me about Magnolia is we find out in the series, one, Magnolia has ADHD. I have ADHD. That's something that like, one of the reasons I think I connect with her so much is she just kind of is a little spinny, and I'm a lot spinny. If you know that about me, our personalities match. But Magnolia is one of those people that like, her friends mean everything to her, and my people mean everything to me. I've had lifelong friends that have been my friends since like, one of my friends has been my friend since in the womb. Like, in the womb. Christy's been my person since in the womb. Like, her mom and my mom were friends. And like, I knew Christy would be my person from before Christy was born. And BJ and Magnolia have been friends since they were 6. Like, some of these people are ride or dies for Magnolia, and I have those people. My person is Kendra. Kendra and me have been friends for 15 years. Shout out, Kendra. We've been friends forever. And when shit hits the fan, I know I'm calling Kendra, and she's coming. Like, she's coming. She's getting, we're long distance besties right now, but her butt is getting on a plane. Just like when shit hits the fan with her, she calls me and my butt is getting on a plane, because we're doing life together. Like, that's just how it is. And that's something that I resonate with this friend group, is they're like ride or die besties. And they are like, it doesn't matter. When shit hits the fan, when life gets hard, when things are happening, they have each other's back. And it doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter if shit's happening within their friend group. It doesn't matter if shit's happening to their friend group. It doesn't matter if the paparazzi, because they're like high society London and the paparazzi comes at them a lot. They take care of each other. And I resonate with that, because I am that way with my friends. Like, we have each other's backs. We are that way. And I believe that with my whole heart, that that's like an important part of having an intense friend group. And when you have an intense friend group like that, it's really like, I resonated with that right away. I knew right away that like what it meant to be in a friend group like that, what it was like to have that kind of experience. And when Magnolia was struggling with things and her friends were there with it. And I also, like, at the end of the book, when this particular book, when shit got real with the friend group, and I don't totally want to spoil it, I want you to read it, but shit, like, hit the fan. My jaw hit the, excuse my language, internet, fucking floor. Like, fucking floor, because of what happened with this. I, like, it was the biggest shock of, like, 2024 for reading for me, because I could not believe what was happening, because that friend group was so fractured because of it. And I've had experiences in my friend group like that. And so there's that. The other thing about BJ and Magnolia that I loved and related to is that they fought for love. And they fought for love so hard because the cards have always been stacked against them. And although I've not experienced things being stacked against them in the same way that BJ and Magnolia have, by far, like, I've never experienced like cheating, and I've never experienced some of the family dynamics that Magnolia goes through and some of that, but I have experienced in a relationship and in my current relationship when it feels like the world is stacked against me and all I have to fight for is the love that I have. And it feels like everything is going wrong and everything is going like there's nothing that can hold you together except for the love that you have for that person. And the love that you just like, all you have left is this belief that love must conquer all. Like I can 100% relate to that. 100% to the fact that literally it boils down to, do you love that person more than the shit that's happening around you? And BJ and Magnolia time and time and time again have to face that. And I've been through so many seasons with my husband where time and time and time again, we've had to boil it down to, do we love each other more than this mountain that we're facing? Do we love each other more than this fight that is coming? Do we love each other more than this hard thing that yet we're having to face? And the answer has always been yes. And for BJ and Magnolia, I'm going to show this cover again because I love this one better. BJ and Magnolia, the answer is always yes, even though they're the ones who are screwing each other up. They're the ones who are messing up. They're the ones who are fucking things up. They're the ones who are the problems. Time and time again, it boils down to yes. There's also something that happens to them in one of the books that I have 100% had happen to me. 100% the traumatic thing that the two of them go through, I have experienced. And if you've read the books, you could probably deduce what that is. And my husband and me have walked that path. And when they walked that path, I cried and sobbed and wept with them because I understood. I understood what it was to go through that traumatic event. I understood what it was to come out the other side and the pain. the absolute pain and the absolute suffering that these two characters went through after going through that traumatic event, I understood in my core being. I understood because I went through that with my husband, and they were significantly younger than me and my husband were. They were babies, and we were grown. Well, we weren't grown. We were in our late 20s. They were 10 years younger than us. And to have that with no support, and to keep it a secret, and to do all the things that they did in that moment, like, I'm getting a little teary-eyed and choked up thinking about that, because we had support and we had love, and they didn't, and they kept it this big secret, and it just broke me. It broke my heart open for them. And so it was something that I related to so much in their story. And so those are just things that, like, when I'm reading these books, like, I immensely connected with these characters, like, jump on board connected with these characters. Something else that I loved about these books is Jessa Hastings' writing style is fast-paced. It's fun and it's fast-paced. There's not a moment in these stories where there's a lull where I felt like I was like dragging, or the book dragged, or that I wasn't connected, or it was slow. It was so fast-paced that there were times where I was like catching up. What happened? I have to catch up. Because it was bam, 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 bam. And I love that in a book, where it's almost too fast, but it wasn't too fast, if that makes sense. And I loved it. It was so good. And again, it had this reminiscence of Gossip Girl. And it was reminiscent of something that I like loved, and was nostalgia, and it was so good. And it takes place in this high society London space that just was fun and flirty. And it reminded me of just like wanting to be something I'm not, and all these references to things that, like, Lord, I'm never going to own all of the fancy clothes that Magnolia owns. I can dream of owning all these fancy Prada and Muumuus and all these things that Magnolia does, and it's so fun. It also deals with hard-hitting subjects, which was something that I appreciated. It deals with cheating. It deals with death. It deals with loss. It deals with eating disorders. It deals with mental health. It deals with friendship groups. It deals with fractured relationships. It deals with all of these things in, I wouldn't say a lighthearted way, because this book is not, I would not call this book a lighthearted book, but in a way that was not heavy to the point where, like, I felt burdened, but in a way where I could work through it in a space that was safe, in a space that was almost happy, almost jovial, but not, if that makes sense. Almost in a space that was sweet. I'll call it sweet. It was like a sweet space where the characters brought levity to the situation and brought hope to the situation. And the side characters in this book were fabulous. I love Henry. I love Tora. I love Jonah. Oh my gosh, Jonah makes me laugh so much, and I just can't. I love Julian, but we'll get more to him when we talk about Daisy Hates. I just love the characters in general and the way she develops all these characters, because there's a lot of character development that's just not Magnolia and BJ. Lots of these other characters develop, and I love how she really helps you feel like you're part of this world in a realistic way. And I can't speak it highly enough. You need to read Magnolia Parks. And if you haven't, 10 out of 10 recommend that you go and read Magnolia Parks. This is a 5-star series. Every single book in this series got 5 stars from me. So go read Magnolia Parks series. Do it right now. Pick them up. You can find it at Barnes & Noble. They're on Kindle. They're everywhere you can read books. Go read them. Then come back here and tell me all the reasons that you loved it. So until next time, friends. Bye-bye.